All right, guys, we're going to do Tours and Pours live here at Schlafly Tap Room. Welcome to the show. All right, we're going to flip it around.
I don't know if you're familiar with Pastor House that grew up big investment. Well, I think that we have to win it.
All right, everybody quiet down just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and get the show started here. Thank you, everyone, for coming out for another edition of Tours and Pours. My name is Lee Fjord, and I'm your host. Founder of Make It Happen Multifamily, our thought leadership platform. I'm really excited about tonight's presentation. And normally we do a property tour where we go out to a property, we tour the property, we actually learn about the owner and the property on site, which is an inspiring opportunity. But man, it is too hot out there to be doing a property tour. So instead, we decided to come here and just do the presentation live and in person here at Schlafly Tap Room in St. Louis, Missouri. So tonight we have an amazing featured owner. We're going to bring her up after our sponsors, but I want everybody to give a big round of applause to Lynn Hart for giving up her valuable time this evening. We're going to have an amazing opportunity to learn from her about how she built her amazing real estate portfolio here in St. Louis. All right, so who are we? Make It Happen Multifamily. My wife and I started this group in 2019 with the objective of being able to bring real estate investors in St. Louis who specifically want to learn about investing in multifamily housing together every single month. So we conceptualized and started Make It Happen Multifamily, our thought leadership platform, with that goal in mind. And then we do events every single month, Tours and Pours. We also do a live recorded webinar every month as well. So if you have an opportunity to tune in for our webinars, we'd love to have you there. Also, Green Forest Capital, our multifamily real estate syndication company, where we bring the ability to invest in large commercial multifamily properties to you, investors, who may not be able to buy $10, $20 million properties. We would love to be able to help you and contribute to your future that way as well. We would not be able to be here without the amazing support of our sponsors. And I want to bring up one of our new sponsors, Matt Chrismore. Come on up, sir. Big round of applause. It's summertime. He's here in person. Matt, tell us about yourself, sir.
Thanks a lot, Lee. Yeah, my name is Matt Chrismore. I've been in the insurance business for 17 years. I own my own shop for 15 of those years, and now I solely work with, I don't want to say solely work, but the majority of the work that I do is with real estate investors like yourselves. I am a real estate investor myself. I had the last tour, got a couple multifamilies, and that's where I really like spending my time. So whether you have a duplex, a 4-family, 96-unit portfolio of 350 doors, whatever it is, I'd like to be your guy and help you out with that purchase or your next renewal. Be happy to give you some information and see how I can help you out and put you in an essentially better position. The tide is really turning. The market is actually softening quite a bit for insurance for these multifamilies, so that's good news to you all. If you're not hearing about it from your current agent, I'd like to talk to you about it.
We actually just went through the process of renewal, and our insurance costs went down by multiple double digits on one of our properties. I see it in our numbers, but you're not going to actually see it if you have a lazy broker. It's not going to go out and fight for you. If they just go and renew with the same policy holder or insurance company, you're just going to see that same price, or they're going to go up on you. So, yeah.
So I am a broker. I have access to every different carrier under the sun that you could think of, besides the captive agents like American Family or something like that. But we've got an internal team that fights to find you the absolute best deal that's specific to your property. So.
All right, and you can find Matt at Chris Moore at LinkedIn.com. 314-721-1500. Is that the right number? All right, just making sure. All right, and we're going to bring up our next sponsor, Mr. John Banjak from True Title. Here's here in person. Big round of applause. All right, John, tell us about yourself.
Hey, thanks, Lee. Always a pleasure to be here from True Title Company, full service title agency. We have offices spread all over the metropolitan St. Louis area, way out, as far as Rolla, Farmington, Fredericktown, and everywhere in between. We also do title in Illinois and Colorado. I practice some real estate law, so I work with some of you in that context, whether it's setting up business entities, represent a whole host of private money, hard money lenders, and do the documents on those transactions as an attorney, as well as earning them through the title company. You probably all, I won't go into great detail about it, you probably already are aware, just from a regulatory or a legislative standpoint, there's a new wholesaler law that goes into effect here in Missouri. You're probably all aware of that goes into effect August 28th. So that's going to make it a little more precarious and potentially stymie some of the traditional ways of doing wholesaling. I met with a bunch of investors not long ago. One of the main questions was, does the law prohibit flipping of transactions, the same day closings, even the pass-through financing from the back end?
That's what I was going to ask. Can you still do a double close?
Yeah, the double close. The law, I see nothing in the law at all that would undermine or prohibit the double close, even with the pass-through financing. It's just not in the law. It's just not in there. I mean, but I have to be careful because there still could be some nuances to how you do your deals that could be applicable. So if there's any gray area and going forward based on what you know about the law, then you got to make sure to consult with somebody on it, because it's obviously difficult, or you can't really give legal advice in a broad sense. But so anyway, that's the scoop. Again, thanks for having us. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to know you guys and work with you. And people ask us about how things are going business-wise. Everything's still kind of humming along, but nothing's record-setting. We don't have record-setting numbers in any of the facets of business we do. We do commercial of all type. We do investors, smaller investor work. We do residential, of course, across the board. And while everything's kind of holding on, nothing's at record-setting pace, but fortunately nothing's bottomed out either. So it's just going to be kind of steady and slow for a while, it looks like, until we hopefully eventually get a little bit of relief on the interest rate world, where the economy improves so greatly that people get adjusted to the interest rates and don't find them, historically they're not that high, of course, but they are relative to the last 10 years. So anyway, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Lee.
John also does estate planning as well.
Yeah, I do estate planning. So when we come in and we talk about an LLC, it often leads to the concept of estate planning. LLCs, we talk about to avoid personal liability. But even if you have an LLC, it begs the question, what happens if you become incapacitated or you die? You want to make sure someone can pick up that LLC and continue to manage the property without skipping a beat. So it's just a natural progression when you're talking about businesses to talk about that, even if you're younger, even if you don't have kids. That's just something you layer in as you need. So, thank you.
Of course. John Banjak, everybody, big round of applause. You can find him at jbanjak at truetitle.com, 314-365-5984. He'll be in the back of the room giving out free legal advice, too. So anybody who wants any free legal advice at the rate of $0 per hour, normally $500, go see John in the back of the room. All right, we're going to keep it rolling. Next is Adam Cruz. I didn't see him here this evening. All right, who here utilizes third-party management? Who values their time? Who values their time? All right. So third-party management is an amazing resource. If you value your time and you don't want late night tenant phone calls, if you don't want to have to go deal with work orders on your own, if you haven't reached a place where your real estate portfolio can replace your income and you still have a business or a job that earns you enough to not have to go be the maintenance man or maintenance woman of your own, you need third-party management. And we recommend Herman London. Adam Cruz is the owner of Herman London. You can reach him day or night at 314-210-5115. That's his personal cell phone number. Please text him at 2 o'clock in the morning and tell him I have an air conditioner that's broken. And he will rush on over. Actually, he won't. He has staff, employees, people that handle his portfolio of properties that he manages for others, readily available for you, day or night, 365 days a year, even on Christmas. That's why you use third-party management, so that you can be on the ski slopes, or in Puerto Rico, or wherever you happen to want to be, while you have a third-party manager doing the grunt work of being a management company. So, when you want a grunt work management company who's going to do it for you here in St. Louis, Adam Cruz, Adam at Herman with 2 N's, London.com. All right. Daniel, I think, is not in the room either. Everybody's on summer vacation right now. Daniel Dawson with Niche Construction. He specializes in unit make-readies. When you have, between tenants, a unit that needs to be renovated or brought back up, or blow the dust bunnies off and put a coat of paint on it, I recommend Daniel. They are awesome. Niche Construction, they are readily available to be able to come out and bring that unit back up into move-in ready condition. They will take care of everything that needs to be done in order for you to pass your occupancy inspection to be able to then turn around and rent your unit to your new residential tenant who's going to move in shortly thereafter. Because once again, what's the one thing you can't ever get back once you spend it? Time. And if you don't want to spend your time painting apartments or fixing heat traps or whatever needs to be done between tenants, reach out to Daniel, 314-339-6454, or Dawson at STL Lewis Real Estate Investors.com. That's a really long website.
Wow.
STL Lewis Real Estate, Lewis Real Estate Investors.com. 314-339-6454. All right, another guy, I know he's not here because unfortunately he is taking his kids on an amazing fishing trip to teach them how to catch fish up, I think, in Canada. Like an amazing trip with his children. He's living his best life. Adrian Hartman, he's a staple here. He's usually here every single month. Adrian specializes in providing agency loans, non-recourse loans, $1 million plus loans on the types of properties that we want to be buying. What does non-recourse mean? Anybody have an idea what non-recourse? Non-recourse. All right, non-recourse means if you stop making your payments, they can't come take your house. It means they take the property at the end of the day. When I learned about non-recourse loans and the fact that you can go out and get more and more and more of them over and over and over again, a light bulb went off above me, and I realized, man, this is how people scale. How do people get to multi-$100-million portfolios of ownership in real estate? It's utilizing non-recourse loans and agency debt. And when you're taking out the largest financial loan of your entire life and or career, you need someone there to make sure that you're not going to do it the wrong way. Making sure that your loan terms are solid, making sure that every dot is, every T is crossed and every I is dotted. And Adrian is a true professional. He guides our business and advises us every quarterly. We have a conversation about where we are on our debts, and he is a resource. If you're not ready, still reach out to Adrian, because I had 11 doors when I originally met Adrian. 6 months later, I was at 50 doors because of the conversation with Adrian. And then, 2 or 3 deals later, we actually started doing business together because those other deals were a little bit too small. But Adrian Hartman, Colliers Mortgage, he's willing to help you if you aren't there yet and ready to get there. He'll help you get there. 314-566-3404, adrian.hartman@colliers.com. All right, we're going to keep it going. All right. Who here owns one of your properties or more of your properties in an LLC? LLC? Yeah? All right. When you own a property in an LLC and your tenant breaks the terms of your lease, what do you need? You need to evict them. What do you have to do when you evict them? You need an attorney. The most efficient, and efficiency is the name of the game in evictions. Every day that tenant is in your unit and not adhering to the terms of your lease is another day that you forego the ability to be able to place another tenant in your property that will adhere to the terms of your lease. So time is money. Efficiency is the way to recapture time. Matthew Chase at the ChaseLawPC.com has an online portal. Yes, it's 2026. You can file an eviction online by literally submitting your paperwork through his online portal. You can log in there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and know what day of the month your upcoming case is, where you're at with that case, the status of it, the process, the documents, everything are all there. There are, surprisingly enough, some eviction attorneys out there that still make you call them or email them. I had one attorney that I talked to the other day, it wasn't John Banjack, by the way, asked me to fax him something. Yeah, a fax machine. I don't even know where I'd find one of those. I had to go and I had to go online and sign up for some subscription to like an online fax thing to be able to send this guy thing, and then I had to remind myself to cancel my 30-day free trial. But you can just upload your documents into the Chase Law Firm website to be able to start the process of your eviction, and they handle everything for you in a step-by-step process at one flat fee. So if you are an owner of real estate here in St. Louis with a tenant in your property, you need to reach out to them and establish a relationship ahead of time. Because like we talked about, time is what?
Money.
Money! Time is money, so that means you need to be prepared, ready to just put your stuff into the portal, and bing, bang, boom, next thing you know, you now again have possession of your property, and you have a seasoned attorney representing your needs of your business and yourself. All right. Who here has utilized short-term money, hard money loans, construction loans, anything like that? Yeah? People want to do flips or burrs or anything like that? All right. When you do that, you need to have a financial institution that is easy to work with, has easy to process payments, and easy to be able to submit paperwork. Because the annoying part of the process is the paperwork and the getting of your money and the loan draw process. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Renovo Financial, it makes it extremely easy, reasonable to do that, and we have our own local representative from them, Brandon Bolton from Renovo. They are cost effective from a points standpoint. I don't want to quote it exactly what it is, but what I will say is that it's less than the other guy. So before you go and take out that next hard money loan, get a quote or an estimate from Brandon. You can reach him at 312-532-2154. Brandon at RenovoFinancial.com. All right, that's the end of our normal, regular monthly sponsors, but we have a special guest sponsor up here. We're going to bring up Mr. Rich Groves, everybody. Big round of applause, Rich. Oh, what's that last step?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. No, first off, thanks for bringing me up here.
My pleasure.
Completely unexpected, and so I jotted down a couple notes. Well, me and Claude did. But anyway, thanks for at least some of you getting that one. Yeah. So let me ask a quick question to the room. How many of you can trace a single partner, a single deal, a single lender or opportunity to one conversation?
I can. Absolutely.
That's it? Just 3 of you? Nobody else? 4, 5?
Yeah.
Every one of you who raised your hand just proves this point. The most valuable conversations that happen in this business are never scheduled. They happen in a room. And on October 23rd, 24th, we're building the greatest room this city's ever seen. It's called Gateway to Freedom. It's a real estate investor conference. This is our 4th year doing it. Let me tell you exactly what happens inside. So the room compresses your learning time. Are any of you, like, you've been in real estate investing for less than 3 years? Okay, less than 2? Who's brand new? How many of you have never done a deal yet? And it's okay, raise your hand if you haven't. That's cool. That's awesome. This room compresses your learning time because you meet people in this room that have been doing it, they've made those mistakes that you can learn from and you can avoid those mistakes. You also, it's a connection event, not a pitch fest. Has anybody ever been to a real estate investor conference?
Oh, yeah.
You ever been and pitched that $50,000 mentorship? Yeah.
But hold on, you get an online website to learn how to be a real estate investor.
That is true, yeah. I'm not going to lie, the speakers, we're going to have over 25 speakers on stage over 2 days, and you're going to learn a ton of stuff. And I'm not saying those speakers may not have their own little mentorship programs or whatever, but we're not pitching you this $50,000 mastermind. But if you see you connect with a certain person, you're like, I want to learn more from that person, you can do that on your own. It's not going to be a pitch fest. And then finally, you leave activated, not just informed. Information's out there everywhere. Right? Everybody, who's got their degree in YouTube at YouTube University? Yep, absolutely. Tons of information out there, but you actually leave activated. You get direction. You get crystal clear direction on where you want to go. You connect with that speaker, and you're like, oh man, they said this, this, and this. You took down notes. You're going to go activate right after that. So right now we have early bird ticket prices. Everybody's got a phone. Do me a favor. Everybody bring out your phone. Because if you don't do this, you write it down, you won't do it. I have 10 more seconds. Sorry.
Take your time.
Go to your browser and type in G, that's just the letter G, the number 2, and then free. G2free.com. That's the website of the conference. I'm not saying get out there and get your tickets today. I will say early bird tickets are in good.
I'll say it for you. Go get your tickets today.
But what I will say is at least look at the speakers we have. I don't know if anybody knows Jamil Damji, the king of wholesaling, will be there. We have Justin Colby is going to be speaking. He had the largest real estate investing podcast on earth for a while. I don't know if he still does, but he is awesome, and he's based out of Miami. We have an RV park, serial entrepreneur going to be speaking. We have so many people, and then the other great thing about that is a huge amount of people are successful real estate investors right here in St. Louis who are killing it. So you can learn from those people, including the humble guy himself. Lee Fjord will be on stage speaking as well. Give it up for Lee. Give it up for Lee.
How to invest in multifamily.
That's right. So we have multifamily. We've got so many different people, different topics, different niches. So you will find a person that you connect with, I guarantee it. G2free.com. Get your tickets now because the early bird prices are going to bump, and they're going to bump kind of considerably. So get them now. It's still cheaper than anything else you've seen around.
I met my largest partner, the guy who I do all of my deals with, at an event just like this. It changed my entire career. I went from, I think I had 4 doors when I originally met him, and all the way to 1,200 because of meeting him on a happenstance chance event at a conference just like this. So we'll see you there.
One real quick story. I apologize. That reminded me of something. So this is our 4th year. In 2023 we did this, and I was leading up to it. I was kind of joking. I had like a little video out there, and I was like, "Oh, who knows? You may meet your life partner here or whatever." I'm not kidding you. A young couple met each other at this conference the first year. They're getting married on either the 23rd or the 24th. So they can't even make it to this one because they're getting married that day. It's amazing. So they found their partner already.
Yes, it does happen. It does. Oh, it just doesn't know to switch. So,
Thanks so much.
oh yeah, my pleasure. All right, so G2free.com. We will see you in St. Louis, October 24th, 25th. So I'm going to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, there are several new faces in the room. My name is Lee Fjord, and I got started in real estate in 2012. I got my real estate license in Florida, and I thought I was going to sell $1 million houses on the beach, and I'm going to, be this successful real estate agent. And let's just say, 2012 wasn't the best time to be a real estate agent, but that's just an excuse. I didn't have someone there to help me, to teach me how to be a good agent. I sat there for 6 months at an open house waiting for somebody literally almost every day at a developer-built home that was open 5 days a week. I would sit there, wait for somebody to walk in the door, and they'd tell me, I'll take it. It never happened. My broker comes to me and she says, hey, the guy who's running our property management division is leaving. Do you want to take over 20 houses that we were managing? And I said, yes. Sounds like money, because I'm broke. I haven't made $1 in 6 months. So I started out with 20 houses under management, built that into a 220-unit management division of a real estate brokerage over 4 years. Got inspired by my clients, decided I wanted to be an owner, figured out what the path to be able to be that is to surround myself with the people who I want to be who are already doing the things I want to do. So I became a broker at Marcus & Millichap, bought my first duplex in 2017 right here in St. Louis. Fast forward to today, have owned over 1,200 apartments. I'm the lead sponsor on 8 approximately deals, and did our very first storage facility. I'm really excited about that. Entered a new asset class this year. That, and I wouldn't be able to do, and what my give back, the thing that I do for the ability to bring back to the community is make it happen multifamily, the reason why we're here tonight. So that's me in a nutshell. That's why I get to be here up on stage, plus I just keep showing up. All right, everybody, now is the opportunity. The reason why you're really here is to be able to learn from this month's featured owner, Miss Lynn Hart. A big round of applause, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm really excited about this. I've been wanting to hear your story myself for a long time. So this gives you an opportunity to, for those of you who don't know Lynn, to get to know her better. I get to know you better. The structure, for those of you who are listening your first time, is this is essentially kind of like a live podcast, but then we also have Q&A along the way. It's towards the end. I get an opportunity to learn from Lynn. You get an opportunity to learn from Lynn, and introduce yourself to you. So Lynn, tell us about yourself.
Okay, this thing's on, right?
Yep.
So, I'll do the version of what you just did, right? So, I've kind of had maybe about 20, 25 years in real estate. And even today, I will tell you, every, year, couple year, my strategy changes one way or the other. I started because I thought it would be a good idea to buy a little house that looked like it could be prettier and fix it up, and I literally did this house with like no plan. I was working in corporate America at the time, and so I had the funds to do whatever I wanted to do. And I literally bought a house, fixed it up, no plan, sold it, I didn't even look at whether I made a profit or not until my accountant told me.
Did you?
I got a free education. I didn't pay for it, but I learned all of, how to find people and what to do, and inspection stuff and all this stuff. I'm a school of hard knocks girl, so everything that I've done is kind of cart before the horse, and that's just the way that I do it, right? Like, there's a lot of people that'll study, and you were saying set goals today. Like, my goal is like, I don't want to work in corporate America anymore, and I want to retire by the time I was 50, and I wanted to have a house in the Caribbean by that time, and I guess I need some new goals because I have all of those things. I think the reason that we had me here is because I caught some attention this year. My partner and I went traveling for 69 consecutive days. With those 2 backpacks was all we took.
That's all I want either.
I put them up there because somebody that was with me last night was asking, like, I want to see the backpacks. Like, they were big enough that they would fit on a European plane in the carry-on and would not tip the scale. So it's like something under 18 kilograms or something like that. I still took too much stuff.
We only need 2 shirts.
Yeah, I really only need three shirts, 3 pants, and a couple of dresses, and they all need to match. So, wait, you wanted me to talk about how I got to do that, right?
Yeah, I want to learn how to be Lynn and spend 92 days on the road and traveling the world.
Well, I think we put the title of this like maybe I do that with midterm rentals, and we'll definitely talk about that. But it's probably only about 25% of what funds my lifestyle, and it also is a thing that I kind of got into cart before the horse, right? So I started I had a home in the Central West End that I renovated while living in it. And at that time, I owned some multifamilies, and I got my real estate license in 2015 when I was leaving corporate America. So I buy and sell multifamilies as a realtor, as one half of what supports me. I have a team here in St. Louis. No matter where I am, most of my clients aren't in St. Louis. So I get on Zoom. COVID was a blessing. I was able to just continue doing my business right there on Zoom, and then I have people here that, depending on what level of training they're at, they might go turn keys for me, or they might take a deal for me with my guidance, or if they're more mature, then they'll do it on their own. But I'm the one that brings the client to the table. So my goal there is to be able to do more of that and let them be in the front with my brand of how we treat our clients, right? So that's kind of one half of my income. I built up and I've been through stages, like I said. So I bought my very first multifamily when I was still in corporate America, and I had a contractor who was a friend. That time I said, what he was doing is he was like what we would call today a bird, right? It was before it was, Bigger Pockets was a thing. And so I just said, hey, I was randomly, again, I'm going to buy this building. It's in Shaw, so I know it's a good neighborhood. I live down the street. And I said, what would you do to this building? And would you do it? Let me pay you to do it. But I want to watch you, and I want to be there, and I want to see why you do what you do and how you do it. And I want to learn, because as a woman, right, you don't get a lot of people who just give it to you straight and that you can trust. So I didn't want to do the work, but I wanted to know how to do it so that I knew if somebody was getting over on me in the future. And so that's what we did. And I still have that building. That building I still have. We'll talk about it. I don't know if you want to show the other slides or something, but over time, first for a while, I did a lot of flipping to build capital and to put that into buying multifamilies. And then that wasn't really where I wanted to be. I was doing, at the time, about helping people buy homes, and that wasn't what I'm not built for that, right? I'm not an warm fuzzy girl. I like numbers and things that make sense and people who are logical, and I don't care if you want a pool or a big bathtub or
What
whatever.
color the cabinets are.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to rip those out anyways.
Exactly. So as I built up capital, I started buying, renovating, renting, and then, not at the time, it wasn't refinancing. Again, this term wasn't there. I started out only wanting to do things in cash. I was never going to use lending because I didn't want to have the debt, because that's what my dad taught me.
It's the safe way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I came across the Robert Kiyosaki's real estate book and learned about leveraging, and I'm like, maybe I should do that, right? And I started doing it. I was lucky that at the time, it was like 2016, it was really cheap.
That was a great time to get started.
Oh my
on
gosh,
resales.
I bought so many buildings right before COVID. I bought, and two that are for sale now. I bought one for $44,000 and one right next to it for $75,000 with tenants in it, and then renovated them, and they are my favorite moneymaker today.
It's just an ATM machine
Yes.
at that point. You're just like, oh yeah, as long as you keep it full.
Yep, and I didn't like them that much. So they're in Dutchtown. It's not this neighborhood. But I had a home, 4,000 square feet in the Central West End, in that historic neighborhood, and decided that I had been doing Airbnb in that home. That's how I got started. But it was kind of a pain. The neighbors didn't like it, just because they just didn't like the idea of strangers to me. I was doing it in my own home. So I had an apartment on the 3rd floor, and I had one guest suite. And I was making, I didn't realize it at the time, because I don't count the dollars and think about it that way. It's just, that's not how I'm built. Like, it was paying for itself. I was making a profit, and the house was paying for itself. But I was a new agent. I love corporate America, and I was like, it was the first time I'd ever been without a W-2, and so I was kind of petrified. Like, what if I don't sell the house? What if a flip doesn't go right? I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. So I sold that house and took a lot of equity out of it, and moved. It sold it so fast. I put it on the market the day that Ladue News was featuring the neighbor's house. So I had like a lot of people through there, and I sold the house like that. So fast I didn't know where I was going to go. And so my, at the time, now my life partner, my contractor at that time, took 1 week to strip down the walls in this building in Dutchtown, and in a building that he was afraid for me to be at alone, because it was just, you know, there was some shady characters when I first
Don't
saw
take
it.
the trash out at night.
He was like, yeah, he was like, the people that live here, there's way too many of them, and they're very large, and you're not. So anyway, he took like 7 days, and got that thing ready. I moved out from 4,000 square feet, all my stuff in there, got there, and now I was like, great. This building, if I don't ever make another penny, I'm going to make $1,000 a month and live here, and maybe I have to eat beans, right? But I don't have to, now I can relax. I don't have to worry that I don't have a place to stay or that I'm not going to pay a water. So it's all covered.
So my mother had the same type of mindset at one point in time. I'm not comparing you to my mother. What I am saying is that she always had a worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is I move into that rental house that I have that's completely paid off. The worst case scenario is that I have this backup plan. If all hell falls apart and or if I just one day walk into my boss's office and just tell him to pound salt, I got a place to go and I'll be safe and fine.
It was your FU moment.
It was, yeah.
I need the FU money.
Yes, and that was it.
I didn't need a lot of it.
It was a 2-bed in South City in Dutchtown.
Mine was that building right there.
Yeah, literally.
Dutchtown Plaza.
Yeah, that's
So,
your FU money.
I tell you that story to tell you how I really got to midterm. And that is, so I moved into this building, and now it wasn't like I needed the $1,000 was not my real FU money. I had that all in the bank, right? So I sold this house. I had money from when I left corporate America, and so my thought was I was going to go renovate a house in Tower Grove, and then just getting in there and settling down, I had this aha moment, like Rich was mentioning, and I'm like, wait a minute. I was 45 at the time. I had my Caribbean idea, right? I was getting ready to, I feel like when I started doing real estate full-time, that kind of is my retirement moment, because I can wear whatever I want, do whatever I want, wake up when I want, and go do stuff, right?
Tell me what to do.
Right? I went to I went to Puerto Rico that year and bought my home. And so then I found out what it's like to own a home in the Caribbean and not live there. And so I started spending time every winter. And as I was there in the winter, I was like, I'm going to need more time. So that began me getting more mobile. And so I started to say, well, this house is sitting empty and it's fully furnished. Why don't I just rent it to people? And it was so popular because everybody else is doing something a little bit more fancy, closer to the hospitals. This is drivable, but I still am back to back with people renting that. First it was whenever I was gone, and then it became so much that I just renovated. It was in the Grove now. I renovated my own home and just kept renting that thing. It's been 8 years renting in Dutchtown for $1,550 to $1,800 a month with little breaks. It's just like that's
That one, no?
no.
Oh, that one.
That one.
There we
This
go.
is the home that I did.
So you moved into that one?
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Okay.
I rent it too.
Yeah.
There's nothing I own that doesn't get rented to other people.
I did that. I was doing that too until literally I move into my new house tomorrow, and I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
I have a mortgage payment on a house.
Yeah,
I haven't paid rent or paid a mortgage myself in since 2017.
Yeah, so that building, that's 8 units side by side. It is for sale, if anybody would like to.
There we go.
So that really started me in the midterm. And so it's been full. I don't do anything less than 31 days. Primarily, I chose that before the city of St. Louis made it not so great to do it for the nights. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to deal with that. And so I don't have the turnover. And so all I had to do was, I have a great cleaning team, and I set everything up. I, have an inventory of stuff down in the basement, and the gals come in, clean everything, and make sure there's toilet paper, call me if I need something, and boom. So I kept on growing my portfolio, and the only building that I have, it's not up here because I have one building that I don't have any midterms in, and it's that first building that I said I bought in Shaw, because it literally stays so full. Like if somebody leaves that building, it's maybe like once every 5 years. And then I have, does everybody know what like a Matterport 3D tour?
Yeah.
I've got Matterports on all of them, and people are coming in from out of state, so I just stick the Matterport up there, and we'll rent it before people even see it. So it's just like, boom.
You're like, tour? We don't do tours. Sign the lease.
Yeah, I'll give them a tour, but like, if somebody else signs the lease before you, that's not my fault either, right? I rent it to whoever's got the money and shows up first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a strategic question. Are you interested on the one you're selling in being the bank? No, you're not.
No.
Not for me. I have somebody in mind. Yeah, a young real estate investor.
I will always entertain a conversation.
All right. I got somebody I'm going to introduce you to later.
I don't know. I tell you the truth. I've said no to that question 1,000 times because
Yep.
what I don't want to deal with is thinking that I am free of that building. I want to go on and buy something else, right?
Yeah, no, you're free.
And put it in somebody else's hands. They run it into the ground, and then I have to foreclose and come pick up the dang pieces because I don't want to do any more construction. I'm done.
That's that trust thing, and that is the problem with the seller finance
Yeah.
things. Is it's, well, I'll do it for you, and I'll take the small down payment, and you make the payments, and you do the wrap or the whatever
It's
the
not
hell
worth
they
it.
do.
Like the rates people are wanting
Yeah.
to give you right now, it's like, yeah, maybe for 12% you put
Yeah.
50 down or something. Maybe I would think about that. But
Yeah.
for 5%, like I could just cash out a refi and go buy something else.
Yeah. Why bother with that?
Right?
Cash out refi.
I want to use other people's money. I don't want people to use mine.
Yeah.
Unless I've got cash and I'm going to pay me 12%.
Yeah.
So
Let's see
I
what we
have
got.
all of these are midterms, right?
There we go.
This is my whole portfolio. So like you said, there are 2 buildings at Alaska that are represented here. My home in Puerto Rico is also, when I'm not in Puerto Rico, that is an actual Airbnb. And because I keep them, I'm either in one or the other. So each of those probably only make me about between $20,000 and $40,000 only. $25,000 to $40,000 a year, and that's with me living in one of them at any point in time during the year, right? The one in Puerto Rico is it can be a 3-way configuration, right? You can rent the first floor, you can rent the second floor, or you can rent the whole house, right? And so depending on how I'm feeling, I might sleep in one of them and rent the other one, or I might keep the whole house and invite visitors to come stay with me, or we're also doing on the land next to this, we are renovating shipping containers.
What?
It's going to be
That
a
sounds
large
cool.
project.
Okay.
So we've got 2 shipping containers with the 2 side by side with the 2 interior walls removed. It's all framed out and insulated. I'm going to have the entire bathroom is going to be outdoors.
Ooh,
With like
that sounds
the
cool.
rain, I live on the side of the rainforest, it's going to be outside But the deal that I had to do with my contractor became my life partner. I made him become my life partner. He was that good of a contractor.
So you're mine now forever.
And so this is going to be his last job. So we got to put all the goodies inside it. And I had to agree to screen in the entire bathroom so that we could have the indoor-outdoor bathroom.
Indoor and outdoor, that makes sense.
Well, I'm sorry, it's outdoor.
Outdoor, so screen, outdoor, but no bugs.
Yeah, no bugs. No bugs.
There aren't any bugs in Puerto Rico, though. I don't know.
You haven't been to Puerto
No,
Rico.
I've been out in that part of Puerto Rico.
Not in the rainforest, rather. The only other thing that we haven't talked about, and I have no midterms in this one, is that if you count these doors, it's almost like 20. And it's my portfolio has gone up and down as I right-sized it because those phases that I went through, like first it was like buy it all up, and then I'm like, yeah, I can cash out refi on these things. And then it was like, yeah, but I could just sell them and buy a bigger one or a better one or whatever, a different thing that I want because now I've improved the property and you could just take that money and do whatever you want with it. So I've done a variety of different things. I paid one off and paid the taxes and kept it. I've done a few 1031 exchanges. I bought my little house and renovated it myself, and so it's kind of, for me, it's not about having all the doors in the world. I want all the dollars, right? So my portfolio now is somewhere gross between $250,000 and $300,000 a year. And I say it that way because I know what the long-term rents are, but I don't really count all the dollars and just kind of keep falling on me from the midterm. And so I don't really know what I'm going to make in a year until the year's over. So
You can't, it's vacancy, maintenance,
Yeah.
it's older buildings, but low debt, low leverage. Low leverage.
very low leverage.
Yeah.
And so I may go talk to your I forgot his name, but the Colliers guy.
Yeah.
My phase right now is I was thinking to sell the 8 units to pull out. I have a lot of equity in those buildings, but it's a pain right now to sell, especially if people are using like a DSCR loan. There's a lot of people that they're requiring full replacement value on insurance, and it's almost a deal breaker. I just lost the contract on it because he was saying that the insurance is going to be like $10,000, and he exaggerated. It was like $7,000, but I'm paying like $2,500. So the numbers don't look the same when you have to go through that.
It is a loan type that you place on the property, and the stronger the buyer, the better. But those strong buyers aren't buying some of those types of deals. There are some opportunities out there.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that want the seller financing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for the right situation, you give me the right amount of cash, I might finance part of it, but I don't need to finance it the whole thing. So then the other doors that I have that aren't making me dollars yet, but I'm fully expanding or expecting that they will. I'm thinking in the next, couple of years. Phoenix Place, Arrow 24 is 144.
144 units in Atlanta.
It's a syndication. I'm a limited partner in
With
one
me?
of these syndications.
Yeah. That deal is it's a giant flip. It's a 144 unit apartment complex flip project that we bought in Atlanta. That the rents were $900 when we bought it. They're $1,350 today. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy how the rents can go flat after that in many years. Those, but what do you not really have a lot of when you have a flip?
What?
Cash flow.
Oh,
Yeah, because you're constantly turning over the residents.
I can attest to that.
Yes. Flips still
Until
pay.
you get it flipped.
Yeah,
Until you get it renovated.
Fully flipped, fully renovated, fully stabilized. It takes, and it's not like a flip that only takes your burr, theoretically, that only takes maybe 6 months when you have to find one tenant. It takes years on those.
You're rounding third, I think.
Yeah. 3 years in, and we're at a place now where we're at 90% occupancy. We're building up our reserves on that property. We're preparing for first distribution in a long period of time, and eyeing a sale, actually, where we have an idea about a sale potentially.
Good news.
We'll see.
That's
That
news
is,
to me.
yeah.
That announcement didn't come out yet.
If we can, it'll be great. And if we can't, then we have a great non-recourse loan that's available for the next couple of years, and we'll keep riding it out. Because the best part about real estate investing is as long as you don't sell, you will be, and as long as you can make all your payments, and as long as you don't sell, you can ride out a recession, you can ride out any sort of thing through real estate investing.
So I think I should say a little something about the kind of the title, right? Like you're like,
Yeah.
how are you doing this travel, right? How
Yeah.
are you running all this? So, and possibly a little different view from some of what you were saying before. I've had property managers before,
Yeah.
but I am my property manager. I am
Yeah.
self-managed, but I have help, and that's how I do. That's how I can be in 7 countries in 45, 60 days and whatever, and still do it. So I just put together my own version of what I wanted because I use a couple of local property managers, and I mean, there's great ones, but I feel like the couple that I went through, I wasn't seeing much money coming out, and then when I looked at it myself, and maybe I just know too much, but like you're looking at it, my aha moment with that was, I needed a yard vent cap replaced on the Alaska buildings. They charged me $200.
Whoa, for like a $3 piece of plastic?
I was gonna say 8.
Well,
I'm saying, here's what I think. They sent a team of 5 to Home Depot, and they were all the new kids, and they charged me by the hour to go find where the yard vent caps were. I have no idea how it costs $200, but I lost my brain that day, and I'm like, no, forget it.
You're fired.
Yeah, so I use a product called Door Loop. It's pretty good technology. It allows me, so I do something different, a little different with my, that I feel like other people do, maybe because I can't, because I manage myself. I have a person who does I call her the tenant services director, so she answers the calls and does things and turns keys and deals with the tenants, and I make the decisions. I broke my own lease. I have a little help from a lender, from a lawyer, but I build on it, continually build on it. My lease is the center of my operation, next to my technology, and so we don't have a telephone number that you as a tenant can call and expect to get an answer.
Ooh, I love that.
If you want to talk to me, you can put in a tenant request, and we will arrange for the appropriate person.
During Monday through Friday.
Whatever like don't expect, I literally in my lease says like, here's who to call. If you have an emergency, do not call me. Call the police, call the fire department, call the gas company, call Ameren, right? And then there's really very few emergencies that, that I'm not going to answer the phone, right?
The water shut off is in the basement.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a picture of where it is.
Figure it out. I do use though, my tenant services director very much follows my standard operating procedures. So every time I do something, I am very much, that was kind of my role in corporate America. I was like, I just put organizational things together. So if I do anything once, it either gets written into my lease, some education that goes on my website for my tenant education, or a standard operating procedure for my person. So if she's going to come ask me, which happens, like the 3rd time, how do you want to handle lease renewal? I'm like, go read the renewal procedure.
Just stop calling her.
Except, I just wrote into my lease, this is my favorite thing, I wrote into my new lease that all leases renew for another 12 months at the end of the term if somebody didn't give 30 days notice, and the rent increases by 3%.
Only 3? We do 10.
Well, shut up.
Yeah, if you
No,
don't
I mean
sign,
over the market.
if you don't actually execute a lease renewal, within 30 days prior to lease expiration, auto renews at 10%.
Well, so mine's 3, but I'm at market. Like, I don't mess around with my lease. I keep them up.
We do try to get the renewal done now.
Yeah.
But if they ignore us until 30 days, it just jumps.
My intention is that I'm not going to sign. I'm going to sign this new lease, and it's just going to perpetually go until you want out. And I don't have to do the lease renewal anymore. I don't have to have a conversation with my person like, what do you think the rent should be? I don't know. What do you think the rent should be? Do you approve this? Like, no, 3%. Now, if she comes to me and says, and it's possible, because my rents are high, this year, I think if we did 3% on Joe Blow, I think it's probably, if he moved out, we might struggle to find somebody at that. You know, I would probably not do it, but it's my first time I'm doing this, so we'll see. Like, I might up the percentage and redo the leases next year.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
5.
I saw 4, and then I did the math, and I'm like, well, I think that just it's gonna push people out, I think. But, you know, I'm constantly changing and improving.
Moving is expensive. And when they see that 13th month lease and it goes from 15 to 15,
Yeah.
are they really going to be that upset?
Right.
No, they're not going to be that upset.
So, well.
Versus
that's
15,
not-
15 versus 15, 25. But 15, 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can do with that door loop, we can do, there's nothing I have to be here for that's not that. The other thing that we do is, David Eschel, the St. Louis Grand Guardian.
Yeah.
We use him like a maintenance person, or he's not he's the business owner, right? But so if I got a garbage disposal problem or, you know, whatever, somebody's doorknob fell off or whatever, he'll figure it out, right?
So there are companies that will do just maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Just maintenance, not charge you a 1 month, first month leasing fee,
Yeah, I don't
not
have a contract
10% per
with them.
month, every single month, all the time.
Yeah.
There are contractors when you find a good one. I used David actually for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
It was great.
I like it. No,
Yeah.
there's some, I still have to, I take exception.
It ain't
to
free.
things.
Yeah, no.
It ain't
like-
free, but there's some things that are like $600 to install a new toilet, probably.
Yeah, that's a little much.
It hurts, but the problem is I've had my own guy doing it for so long, and I know what things cost. It's a $90 toilet, and it took you an hour on a bad day.
Yeah.
And, you know, anyway.
Yeah,
But
so don't
that's
keep
the
it
price I
moving.
pay for not like being in St. Louis.
You
when
get to
I
be in
make that
Puerto
home.
Rico, and you didn't have to replace that toilet yourself. Didn't have to
Right.
take day. I was talking to my wife. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? She's like, I'm replacing a P-trap. What are you doing? And I go, I'm about to go to tour support. You know where my blue shoes are?
Yeah.
And that's how you save and that's how you grow. But eventually, like
Yeah.
if we are traveling, I need someone to be able to call.
Yeah, you need to be able to not sleep. I was very lucky. I didn't. When I got back to St. Louis, that's when everything started happening. But the whole time I was gone, my buildings just, you know, everything happened just like it should have.
That's a beautiful thing.
So I'm thinking of expanding now. Like, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but like I think
Let's grow.
if I do more, I may go back to property manager, and I think I know who I would do because I ran into somebody else and we kind of do things the same. I have two colleagues in mind that I would maybe use to do that, but I don't know, I had such a bad experience before, and now that I see the money that comes in when I'm managing it my way, you know,
It is.
I don't
such a-
have vacancies. Like, I've got an inspector coming in the day after somebody moved out, along with a cleaning lady, and then we just took like a week to turn over one of the units in Alaska.
Yeah, that's how long it should take. Not 2 months.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, there's another horror story. Like the last one I came rid of, I got into one of my buildings that I've since sold, and it took like the better part of the summer to get somebody in here, and so I went in and just see it, right? There were paint all over my brand new cabinets because they had fixed something on the ceiling. They said they had cleaned it. I'm looking at Cheetos in the freezer, like, and not in the bag, right? Like,
Why would you put Cheetos in the freezer?
right before you overdose in a pile of them. Okay, so that's how I travel, right? I schedule my own travel. I don't do any tours. I did do a cruise as part of my last thing because I wanted to do a transatlantic cruise, but I flew everywhere else, made my own bookings, stayed in Airbnbs, and the entire time I'm staying in Airbnbs, I'm like, ooh, I like how they did that. I brought back, I put like new house rules up in all my Airbnbs or my midterms, like this is how it works. Don't do this with a light switch. Here's how to use a garbage disposal.
The key, the garbage disposal
Right.
key, like goes here.
Yeah. So this is what I've got. I've got Oasis St. Louis, that is my rental property. Invest St. Louis, that is my realtor business. and then I've got other stuff, right? So, well, I left it up there, I'm sorry, I left my investing Lewis up at the top. But I have, and I brought some giveaways. I don't know if you have a contest in which you might want to give something away, but
Yes.
because
We do for the best question of the night.
Oh, okay. Good.
Looks like you have two
I got
giveaways.
two big
Second best question also gets a free gift. I used to give away all my books, or my books from my bookshelf, but then I boxed them all up when I moved.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that back in a month when I unpack my boxes.
So do this, and then I'll go to the next slide. So if you want to see like these rentals, Casa Corazon is my home that's rented when I'm gone. It's walkable to
There we go.
Barnes. Rents for like $2,500 a month until if I finish the basement, then it's going to be more. And Finquita Vista Alegre, that is the house in Puerto Rico, open to be rented.
I want to go to Puerto Rico.
Come
Let's
visit me.
go.
I had in the room tonight. I have two different groups that have visited me in Puerto Rico. They also happen to be my friends and prior colleagues
All right.
and clients. Melody's Bob lives with me.
And we have a microphone for you to be able to come up and promote that stay too.
And then go to the next slide. So I also do. Wait, you went the wrong way the last time.
There we go.
Go to the where it says other stuff.
Other stuff.
That one.
Wow.
All right. So like, we have the giveaways come tonight from Cositas by Chiqui, and what that is a little. People, Spanish-speaking people in my life think my name is Chiqui because they don't know how to say Lynn. So I'm bilingual, and a lot of my friends are from the Caribbean. So I started making T-shirts because for whatever reason. So there's T-shirts, and so it's developed to be other things. I made this T-shirt, and I just wanted to be buying some things that I wanted to have. So I'm not really doing a lot of sales, but I have this up there where people can buy stuff. So, you know, there's brand stuff for my house in Puerto Rico. There's real estate investor stuff. There's St. Louis gear. You name it, it's out there. And so I brought two coffee mugs that I just made. One says landlord fuel, and the other one says freshly ground rent checks.
I like the first agreement checks one. That's the one
Yeah.
I think we should give away as the first one. And
And then I have another opportunity. So I'm starting to like document some of how I do what I do.
Yes.
So that's where secrets come up. So if anybody would be interested, I think the first thing that I'm doing is I have like a half-written ebook on how does my whole operation, my standard operating procedures, and how am I managing these things in a way that allows me to traipse all over the world and live in 2 countries and like basically be wherever the hell I want to be. And so this website here, if you would sign up on there, I might send. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, right? That's how I work. That's how I roll.
build the airplane as you fly.
Exactly. So I have something that I don't think it's done yet, but if somebody wanted to read it and talk to me about it and tell me what they thought was valuable and tell me what questions they have that I didn't answer and help me build it up, then I was, you know, later I maybe want to sell it for like $15 or something, right? But I would be happy to do that with anybody who lets me know that they'd like to do that with
I
me.
want to read your half-written book. Yeah. Because I want to be like you when I grow up one day. Literally.
No,
yeah. I am.
No, I just
want
want
to travel
you.
6
I
months
just
every
want you
year.
to do the things for me in
Yes.
syndication so I can stay passive.
No, eventually. Yes. 20 years from now.
No, I want to
Say-
do that in 3 years.
St. Louis or realestate.co/education.
Yeah.
That's where you go for the education.
Yep. And it's just a form to fill out your name and say whatever you want to say to me, like I want your free thing, right?
There we go.
Do you want me to do these? Like you asked me what were my tips and tricks, and then you put them on the
Yeah,
slide.
I want to hear what are the things that you utilize to be able to, like we can go through them pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So,
I'll do it fast.
Yeah.
So my number one thing, I don't know if these are in any order, right?
these are Lynn's tips for success in real estate investing.
tips.
Quick tips.
Okay, so don't overanalyze, and that's there's a lot of people that I get who are in analysis paralysis and they never buy anything. I mean, I'm not saying don't use your noggin, but like you gotta pull the trigger, right? Do it smartly, but just you know, you could analyze a deal for the rest of your damn life and you're not gonna have anything done.
Just get it done. Just do it.
Just do it, right?
Make it happen.
Look, know the market, but do it. To learn to manage a contract and manage people. So I see so many people, because I see a lot of new landlords, right, because they're all my clients, and they panic because they don't have a plan for something. But I tell you what, as many things as I've had happen to me in my career, guarantee you tomorrow the new thing's going to show up. And it's not a cause, there's a solution for it. If it's not in your lease, if it's not in my lease, it will be after that thing happens, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just update it. But I set up something where it's like, you know what? Hey, I told you can't have a dog in here, right? Or you have to register a dog. If you tend to think they're smart, they're going to bring a dog anyway, but they're not going to tell you because they don't want to pay their pet rent. Because I charge pet rent.
Every time.
I put in my lease, if I find an unregistered pet in your unit, I will charge you a $1,000 fee.
Ooh, I like that. Mine's 500.
And
That's
I've
good.
done it.
I like it.
I don't do it because I want the money. I do it because I want them to prevent them from doing it, right?
Yeah. You signed it.
Yes.
Same.
You're in default of your lease right now, so
Right.
you can take the penalty. So same thing, right? You can manage your people to that contract. So anything that comes up, go look at the contract. If it wasn't in there, fix your contract. But there's nothing that happens in my day that when my frontline gal comes to me and says, "Oh gosh, you know, Mary's gone and put a chicken in the backyard," you know, just happened last week. I'm like, and she's like, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "What does the lease say? What do you expect me
It's
to
a
do?
$10,000.
What does the template that we already have for when somebody brings an unregistered pet onto the property? What does it
$1,000
say?"
chicken. Wow, that's amazing.
You get a notice, right? Like, get it out, or you can get out, one or the other. So that there is a solution for every problem, and there's no need to panic. You've got your contract. It doesn't have to be an emotional thing. You don't have to be mean to people. It's a very matter-of-fact thing. This is the contract. You signed it. I made sure you read it. I told you to read it 3 times before you signed it and ask me any questions. You didn't ask me any questions and you broke the lease. Now you're risking your home. You're risking an eviction. You know. And by the way, like you don't. I like Matthew Chase. I think he's one of the best. He'll get you evicted faster than lightning. But I rarely have to. At one time in 20 years maybe, I've done it. And that was the first time. And after that, I've been able to just say, like, you're 15 days. You can move out now. Or I can file an eviction. Which would you prefer?
Yep.
Or I can put you on a payment plan, and as long as you're, with it, fine, right? And you wouldn't believe how well that works. Like, you don't need to wait 3 months and keep pestering them to pay. You're racking up your late charges, and I'm going to file an eviction, or you and I can put a payment plan together that you can stick to, or you can move out, and I won't have to take you to court, right?
But then still send them to collections.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can tell them I can send you to collections, or you can do this payment plan for me after you move out. I've done that.
Yeah.
I've gotten $4,000 from somebody who smoked a unit too. I didn't make money on that either. It cost me $4,000 to get the smoke smell out of that place.
Ugh.
So, this one, my fun one, this is, my dad would be proud if he heard this. He's told me from the time I was probably 16, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So I know a guy for practically everything, right?
Yep.
And, if you don't, then you'll meet one. When you sit here and like, I need to know a guy that can give me money so I can make more money. Lee knows a guy, right? Or
Yep.
I need a guy to go renovate big buildings for me so I don't have to do it anymore. Lee's the guy.
I know, yeah.
So that's that. And that same father told me when I bought my first multifamily building, "Oh, good God, you're going to be a slumlord," right? And he still was perplexed about how I'm making. He thought I was going to die when I stopped working for another person and only had my rentals as the income. And he still laughs about it today. He's still like, "I can't believe you're a slumlord." And my buildings are not slummy. They're the nicest one in the neighborhood. So that's number 5. Ignore negativity, right? And people who don't support your goals, because guess what? My dad's never owned any rental property. He doesn't understand it, so he thinks it's a scary thing. And he was telling me at, 30-something, when I had my own money and I knew what I could do and not do, that was not a good idea for me. It was a freaking fabulous idea, right? Paying for all my travels and things.
Freedom.
And so another way of saying some of these other things is take that inspired action, right? Like, I can't even tell you how many things, like just, again, like we were saying earlier, like just one conversation gives you an idea. And when I get that idea these days, I just go ahead and act on it, right? Because there's a reason, like, maybe somebody told me to go to the Gateway Freedom thing, or Lee told me he made a bunch of money by scaling with Colliers, right? So maybe I need to go to Colliers because he's bigger than I am, and he can double my portfolio. So go ahead and put the cart before the horse. You got to take the action. Self-talk matters. So, and you probably heard this one before, but I believe it's absolutely true. It's the way I run. If I'm talking to myself, saying something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong, right? If I believe I can do it, I can get it done. I will find a way to make it happen. But if I sit there and go, well, oh my gosh, I don't have a W-2, so how am I possibly going to get a loan? Oh, well, in my case, I talked to Renee Vinces at Carrollton Bank when I had no job and wanted to buy a building and I found out about non-recourse loans. They called them bank statement loans at the time, right? And so you can get it done. If you haven't started, just start and don't listen to people who tell you you can't do it. And always be in learning mode and take cues from others.
Yeah, that is why I do this. I want to have an opportunity every single month to spend time with people, like learn something new every opportunity I possibly can. Which is why you're here tonight, to be able to meet new friends, learn from others who are at their level, whether that's equal or higher or below where you are today. It's the reason why you come to events like these is to be able to meet new friends. And probably take advantage of a lot of those tips and tricks.
That's my shameless plug. If you want to buy the building, you can get the screens from Lee and give me a call, and we'll talk about how you can buy the building.
If you're looking for an 8-unit in St. Louis, let us know. We've got lenders, we've got insurance brokers, we've got an agent ready to sell it to you.
Yeah.
Ready to
They
go.
cut it off the list price on that at $659.
$659 for 8 units in Dutchtown and fully occupied, cash flowing, killing.
Fully occupied. I'm about to spin down the midterm on that one, just because I learned from Airbnb that the process of selling one of those active units is not easy. So they make you take it off the market, cancel all your reservations. So it's not selling. That's hard to sell that way. And then the other person would have to go do their own listing. They can't carry my reputation is what keeps that thing full.
Yep.
So
I bought a property recently that had an Airbnb in it. They had canceled the reservations and then reach out to the guests and do new reservations. It was kind of a pain in the butt, but we did salvage like almost all the reservations.
I hadn't heard how that was happening until just now when I looked at my own. So there's all my information.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do a live Q&A right now. And we're going to leave Lynn's Let's Connect QR code up there for anybody who wants to scan the QR code and connect with Lynn. So who here has a question, a burning desire, anything, a comment about their previous stay at one of Lynn's Caribbean Airbnbs? We have a microphone up here ready to go for you. Who's going to be our first question? By the way, the best 2 questions of the night get a coffee mug. A coffee mug.
Who's going to decide what's the best question?
You are.
No, you.
All right, we're left to vote.
Yeah, okay.
But if we disagree,
You pick one,
I
I'll
win. All right, first question of the night.
Totally not the best question of the night, but the first thing you said was that you have the toilet paper in your midterm rental. Do you supply it for the whole 31 days that they're there? Do you make sure they have, or do they need to go to the store and buy their own toilet paper?
Great question. It's kind of like yes and no, right? So I tell them if they're going to be there for 3 months or whatever, that they're going to bring their own groceries and they should bring their own toilet paper and that kind of crap. No pun intended. But my inventory is not typically open to them where they can get it. My cleaning lady would fill it back up when they go. But in some of them, there's no way to lock it up. So like if they go down there and find it and use it, I'm not gonna use toilet paper.
But it's
right?
enough.
But it's
to get through a little bit.
the intention is that it's a fully operational home that somebody can come in with their suitcase and live there comfortably. So not all of them are the same. The one that I'm running where I used to live in it, it's really well equipped because it has all my stuff in it, right? But when I do one, like some of the other ones that I've spun up recently, I furnish them, I go and I get all the things that you should be able to do, like cook and clean, and I put hand soap and towels and all of those things. And they can do their own laundry while they're there. Now, one thing I do is on the nicer ones, because I want to see what's going on. I've had a couple people that were a little hard on my Dutchtown one. I provide a monthly cleaning service. The gals come in.
that's
I
okay.
just pay for it. I call it part of the deal, right?
I was going to ask that, so I appreciate that. And I know other people have questions, but when you get to it, I would love to know who you use for collections because I have an issue that
Oh,
I've
absolutely.
collected.
Yeah. All right. Question number 2. Who's got another question? Let's come bring it up. All right. Come on. Oh, you got beat to it, Cameron. Oh, is it a 2-person question? No. All right, Ryan, take it away, sir.
So with the midterm rentals, you're obviously creating more revenue out of the same property. Do you find that you're also creating a bigger profit margin, or is it just the same margin, but just more? Does that make sense?
No, it's markedly higher. Just as an example, most of my Dutchtown apartments this year we're starting to rent them at $850. They were at $825 and $795 before. But that unit's been renting between $1,500 and $1,800. And the only additional expenses I have is cleaning in between in that unit, or cleaning if I'm doing it monthly, gas, electric, and internet. And so on the one unit, if I remember the numbers on the last slide, it's like $700 a month or a year for internet, like something like $800 for gas and $800 for electric. So if you do the math on that, I do pay more, but it's exponentially greater, the rent. So maybe $300 to $500 more per month on that.
And if you don't mind, I follow up with that. How much more work do you feel it creates for you, or is it the same as just having a long-term tenant?
It's the turn is different, right? And so I personally right now I am the one who handles the incoming reservations. I do them all on Airbnb, and they're constant. And usually because I'm doing 31 days, they are coming in about 6 to 8 weeks beforehand and making the reservation. And all I really have to do is organize the terms. So I call Jessica, my cleaning gal, and say, hey, so-and-so's leaving on this day, the next one's coming in on that day, can you get me in, right? And, I kind of have to watch and make sure that they arrived on the day and they got in, but I have a full set of electronic locks that's controlled by the internet, right? So I use one apartment's internet to manage all the locks in my building, so I don't have key management. So, and also I can lock you out if you pay your rent. I've never done that, but I thought about it.
You can.
Awesome.
Technically.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
On midterms, you can lock them out.
You are allowed to lock them out of the middle.
You changed the code.
Yeah, you changed the code. Yeah.
I have 2 questions. My first one is, do you leverage any technology so you're only on Airbnb, you don't do any VRBO or other ones like that?
No, and mostly because I haven't had to. I've been on Furnish Finders until this month. I quit them because I hate their technology. And I haven't got a single reservation through there. I've gotten some inquiries, and then they came over and booked on Airbnb. I did CHBO a year ago, and they were hard to set up with. It was really weird. And then I paid them like $400 for the year, and I didn't get a single inquiry. So Airbnb just keeps me full enough that I haven't had to. Although it's kind of, I've thought about maybe doing something different because like right now I'm kind of irritated with them. They've changed their pricing structure in a way that's, depending on how you implement implemented it. I think it's put me in a position where I'm not getting reservations because other people haven't implemented yet, and I implemented right away. So, I don't know.
And then my other question, more of a curiosity thing, because I heard about it on the radio 2 or 3 times, was does your Puerto Rican place have any problems getting water?
This is the third time I've been asked that this week.
Okay.
No. But it just, I mean, living on an island is not like living here. Like, you take for granted that you always have water and electricity. I have solar power on my house, but my air conditioners are on city electric because there's not enough battery for that, right? Well, there could be. I have to test it. I bought 2 Tesla batteries, so it might work better now. The water, we keep our water in tanks, so we always have backup. And so on occasion we'll have an outage, but I'm in the country, and so me personally, there's like 9,000 people in my municipality. That where I'm seeing the rolling water outages are in the near the airport in San Juan, and even those people, they were supposed to have it last week. They were supposed to have 48 hours on and 48 hours off, and then they have water stations where you could go during your off where you don't have running water. But those people mostly have tanks on their roof, so they can pull from that tank. So it's causing people to conserve, right now it's because there hasn't been rain for the whole month of July. And so things were drying out, and that's really weird. I also live in the rainforest, so my municipality gets a lot of rain. But I have been talking about doing rainwater collection. So just find a way to make it work, you know. There's a solution for every problem. I'm not joking.
Thank you.
All right, who's next? Yeah. Oh, yeah, keep going. There we go.
I like the microphone. It's nice touch.
Yeah, I'm liking the mic.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, this is really educational. My question is occupancy permits. I know the city's normally good for 1 year. What do you have to do to turn?
Well, this is being recorded, right?
Nobody from the city of St. Louis is watching. Yeah, we're live streaming on
Oh, good
Facebook.
job.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
good.
well, I wanted to get a copy.
We don't do occupancy permits.
Alright. So, here's what I'll say about that. The renter of record in any of my midterm rentals is Corazon Investments, LLC. And so the utilities are in that name. And the occupancy permit was pulled before Corazon Investment, LLC began utilizing that. And so, no.
I think the money.
But if I went by the book, yeah, I would get an inspection between everyone. And I've even heard that the expectation around a true Airbnb, like with nightly rentals, was that there was an inspection every turnover. I heard that from somebody. Right. Not happening. So I don't do it. And typically, from what I understand, if the gas or electric changes name, that's kind of a trigger that they would notice. So no, I don't do it.
Smart. Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, who's next? Keep it rolling. Yes, sir.
Hey, Lynn, thanks for sharing. I'm curious, since you're in the market a lot as an investor and broker, which neighborhoods do you like, and kind of how would you characterize some of the submarkets?
Yeah, what's your favorite neighborhood?
It's interesting. I get asked this question a lot, and it's going to sound like a non-answer. It is all relative to what your strategy and interest is, right? So, Melody Cotton has a 4-family in Dutchtown that she bought as an owner-occupier, and that was the right deal for her. It was close to where she wanted to be. It was affordable. She bought it on a VA loan 5 years ago or something, and is making a bunch of money off of it now. Mike Ritz behind you buys single-family homes in the 63114, and maybe another zip code that I never remember, but over in that area. And that's what's right for him, right? For me personally, I have property in Dutchtown, I have property in Shaw, the Grove, and the Central West End. And like I was saying earlier, I go through phases and stages, right? So there was a stage where I would tell you Dutchtown in that area all day long because I wanted to buy value add property at rock bottom prices to renovate them and then rent them out and build my goal, right? And then I moved into Gravwood Park, so if you're looking for value add, that's your gig, right? I think